David and housekeeping awesome Jeff.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Inside Scoop with Austin Jeff. I'm Alex Dingman.
I'm Jeff Doss. Let's do this, guys. We are pumped up and ready for another episode. Hope everyone's doing well. And, of course, we are sponsored by the Virtual Fight Tour, and we are so excited to be a part of that, be a part of what they're doing. And not this weekend, but next weekend is Ladies' Night. So we got a lot going on. We got a big card, and that's going to be February 26th. What do you think, Alex? You ready for this?
Dude, I'm really excited. You know, there's a lot of like interesting matchups. You know, at first I was like, well, you know, who's coming? Because there was a lot of talk like, all right, is it going to be
Hey, Jim, we ready? Looking forward to seeing Serafina.
Speaking of Ladies' Night, yeah, Serafina. Yeah.
What's up, Willie?
Serafina Fish will be there. That's going to be a fun one. But I was really wondering, like, all right, there was talk, like, is it going to be like some up and comers? Is it going to be like the big names? And I think it's going to be really. I was super stoked that not all right is going to be in there because it's such an interesting one. When she was competing regularly. All right.
You want Nikki, right? All right. You cut out for a second. All right. Just making sure.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. Yeah. When she was competing, she was always kind of like in contention, right?
Yep.
To being in the top. I mean, whatever you want to say, a raw deal. She always had to go through Chelsea, which means she didn't, right?
Right.
All right, Chelsea wasn't there. Oh, here's Morgan. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
So, but you know what? I don't really fault her for that. You know, she was fighting in an era with two of the greatest female fighters
That's
ever.
right.
I mean, we
Hey,
can definitely say that. Yeah. Hey, Dad. So I'm really excited about that because she has a good matchup. The match totally beat her. She's got a style that could be really good. Or she has a feast or famine style of fighting, right? Where she could be great, or where that style of fighting can get blown out. I'm going to I'm probably going to lean towards her. She's got the experience.
And I think she has something to fight for, you know. But at the same time, Danny has something to prove. Like she wants to make her name, you know. It's going to be a great fight. There's so many on this card I'm excited about. I know last week I mentioned a couple, but go out, get your tickets now.
Yeah.
Go ahead and do it early instead of waiting the day of, and just support this great show, all the ladies. I know a little bit about maybe who's going to be doing commentary. So I've been trying to help Jesse with that. So excited for that. And, we will see, just get ready for a big show. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
What's up, Andrew? So, all right. How you doing, Alex? How was your weekend, man?
Oh, man. You know what? That was funny. Because, it was Valentine's weekend.
Oh, right.
So, I mean, yeah, because it was Valentine's Day on Monday. So happy Valentine's Day, everybody. So
that's right.
Not a lot of people, cutting it up on a Monday night. You know what I'm saying? No. So it was like, yo, hey, you gonna be at this tournament. I like being married. No. Yeah. It didn't matter whether I was like this, most seasoned competitor who's as active as being at every single tournament. That's a weekend I was not going to be competing at. But I'm a little bummed. I'm a little bummed because I just associate Valentine's. No, actually, I should be grateful for this. I associate Valentine's weekend And any NBA fans, chime in too. Valentine's weekend is NBA All-Star weekend, right? It is NBA All-Star. So I am actually grateful that it's the weekend after this year, right?
Right.
So
it ended up being Super Bowl weekend this year, which is crazy, right?
Whatever. Hey, add another year to the streak. It's impressive.
Yo, we really are like I'm really stupid. I'm kicking myself because I voted for the right team, but I didn't put the money on it. Like I should have because
Dude, I told you ahead of time.
Yeah.
I told you ahead of time. Like, listen, this is the deal. If anybody really wants to put any kind of money that they're, they seem valuable to them, and if it's my money, it's valuable to me.
But was it 21 years? 20 years now?
This is at least 22. It's at least
22 years that you've picked the wrong team for Super Bowl.
Yeah. So
all right.
And listen, I go with who I like, with who I want. All right. And that could because the Vikings have not been in the Super Bowl in that time frame.
No.
Could have, should have, maybe a couple times.
Whatever.
Yada, whatever. Right.
Yeah.
So I've never had my dog in that fight. So I was like, hey, I want this team to win. I like them. Let's do this. And so I went with the Joe Burrows.
Hey,
listen,
there you go.
There's a few times where I'm like, listen, I either curse this man and that team or he's going to break mine.
Oh, man. Yeah. Well, it sounds like fun.
Add another year.
You know me. All right. So my fiance was supposed to come with me to the tournament. We just couldn't get that to work out. So just the dog and everything, we didn't really have a way to get that figured out. Dude, I gotta be honest
with you. That dog of yours that you told me about,
yeah,
I'd be like, hey, highest bidder, dog is yours.
Yep.
I don't know if people aren't supposed to talk like that because dog is a family member. However,
hey, listen,
I think it's because my dog is so low maintenance. My dog is she's right here. She's so low maintenance. She just chills, right? I can be gone all day. I don't even feed it. And I just come back. I'm like, oh, you don't have any food? Here's some food. I could leave food out. The dog would either eat the food when she's hungry or not. I don't have to let the dog out all day. Yep. I come home and she's like, all right, I'm good. She doesn't even bark when she's got to go. She just comes up and she just looks at me. And I'm like, oh, this is what we got to do? Cool. Right? Just so low maintenance. So that anything like that, like high maintenance, like with a dog, I can't handle it.
Yeah. I'm kind of the same way. I'm the same way.
In fact, here's $20. Take her.
Yep. That's right. Oh, man. So, but anyways, I was at Starrcade this weekend, so I had a lot of fun in Florida. Busy weekend for me, but really fun with another event with Team Heartland South. Was a lot of fun to really get to spend time with the team and everyone. Again, I was the only one that flew in from the team. Everyone else drove down. So like from Virginia or North Carolina or South Carolina drove all the way down to Fort Lauderdale, Florida. They're all nuts. So
who's got patience for that?
Yeah, I know. Well, one of them. So Sean Elliott drove again. Remember at AKAs, he drove from Virginia to Chicago, right? And went back.
There.
He did the same thing. All right. So, and he was coaching all of us this week. But yeah, all of us did well. Yeah, Angel, was good seeing you, buddy. Was good hanging out with Angel. Angel was down there. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the tournament, because I had a great time, and it's going to bring up a lot of topics that we have on the show. And also just some fun stuff, of everything going on. So let's just review just kind of who did well. All right. Pro from Next Level.
Prolata. Yeah.
Prolata, man. So proud of that kid. He did an awesome job, and he won his first overall grand down there. He flew in from New York, and him and another competitor from Next Level, and did an awesome job. Won the overall grands for that. I believe Peyton Fender won the women's overall.
She's on my fantasy team.
That's right, on your fantasy team. Oh man, we got to get that set up for next week.
You know what I'm saying?
That's gonna be
Maybe I
intense.
shouldn't have said anything.
Yeah. We kind of all forgot. All right. And then so let's see. Let's go into weapons grand. Rashad Eugene won. I got the runner up in that one, so it was a lot of fun.
Are you going to runner up using which weapon?
I was using nunchucks. Yep. I was
Like
using the chuck.
plural or singular? Because I've seen you do one with just one.
Well, that was because it broke. All right, wasn't on purpose.
Oh, all right, my bad.
Sorry. Yeah, so I went first, and then let's see. Oh man, I'm Melanie Strauss. She is one of the top 30 and up competitors on the circuit. She was there. She was the second competitor. Let's see who else. There was a new girl from Velocity that was on there, and I believe one more. But was a lot of fun. So Rashad with his traditional weapons won, and then I won the Forms Grand. So I won the Forms Grand on that one. And my teammate Brianna Tewitt was the runner-up. So we had a good showing with Team Heartland South for that. Lots of fun. I'll go ahead and just explain. I tell you what, man, Murphy. I didn't realize how awesome of an MC Murphy is, dude. Murphy Gonzalez. Not only did he put on a great show, it was a lot of fun in a great tournament, but the way he puts the finals on. He has every fight is like a super fight, lots of intensity. He has, some set fights going on, just lots of fun, right? You're funny. I look taller on video. Look at this. Angel he wants everyone to know that Jeff looks taller on video than in person. I felt like a giant next to him. Yes, you are. Thank you, Coach. I'm not the man.
Look at that. Coach giving love.
So anyway,
what up, Coach?
So, all right, I'm sorry, I'm laughing. Murphy is like announcing all of us, right, for the Forms Grand, and he's like, "We got an up and comer. We got one of the best in the world. We got this, and he skips me, and then he goes to two others, and all of a sudden, and he goes back. He's like, "And we got the legend." And I'm like, "Whoa!" And I'm like bouncing and getting pumped up, looking like a crazy person, right? And I'm just kind of like, "Oh crap! I better do good now." Jeez, some of these people never see me. I'm in Florida. This dude's calling me a legend. What the heck? But it was cool, man. I think I got a little intense because like I'm getting so pumped up that I like tense my whole body up as I'm going, and I pull like the whole left side of my muscles all the way down, and to where today was the first day that like I could feel my left arm. Like that's how bad it was. But overall, I remember I explained to you guys like I was so tired and exhausted from AKAs. I felt way better this weekend. So just getting used to that, getting back out there. But I won all my divisions. So I won the creative forms, the creative weapons, traditional forms, and I won my 30 plus lightweight fighting division. So,
dude, how many divisions you do?
Just four at this one because some of them are combined. And then I did 2 grands, and then I lost in the runoffs to Edgar Hermony. So who is talk about tall? That dude is freaking giant. I had no idea until you're like fighting against him, like. And I'm sitting there.
He's like 6'7" and 100.
Yeah, his leg just went like past my head. It was just like, whoa.
He's got a weird leg. It's not orthodox.
Right. It was crazy. So was a lot of fun. But yeah, man, I just tell you what, Murphy puts on an intense show. So it was a lot of fun doing that. A couple of the exciting things. All right, so I'm going to get into the super fights and the overalls and stuff. But for me personally, and I think it was just a great fight, was the women's team fighting. Okay, so it was Team Heartland South, Jaden Tewitt and Victoria Austin. All right, so this is part of the new team that I'm on. That I'm helping be a part of. Yeah, it seems like Roman tall. Yeah, you're right. I mean, that's all right, close, but I mean, it's not necessarily the same. But you can't say anything about Roman, all right, Angel, all right? Alex just praises him. All right. So I'm just kidding. All right. Anyways,
Yeah. Keep
so
going.
we had them versus Team Velocity, which was the same team that was in the finals at AKA, right? So Peyton Fender and
Word.
the young girl from Puerto Rico. All right.
Jimena?
Great team. No, Jimena is on Revolution, but yeah. So this girl's from Puerto Rico.
Okay.
So great
My
team
bad.
fight. Victoria won the first round, I think, by 2 or 3. Yes, Sabrina. That's right. So it was very intense fight. Okay. And then Peyton came back, and it kind of went back and forth. But in the end, Jaden really just kept it where it needed to be, and her side kicks were looking great. Her kicks were looking great, and they won by 1. So it was a great first win, for our team as far as, like me winning the grands, my teammate getting runner up, us winning the women's team like that in a good fashion. Also, other competitor, Daryl Carter, winning his division and also beating the lightweight winner, the 18+ lightweight winner in the runoffs. So it was just a good step for everybody. It was a lot of fun.
Right.
And it was cool that Murphy kind of recognized that as well too, and after the win, recognized the team and stuff. So was just a cool event.
Sounds like it.
All right, so Wayne Easterling, man. Wayne Easterling won the super fight. All right, the set super fight. All right.
Been around a while.
Huh?
He said he's been around a while.
He has been around a while. Really a top competitor in the Southeast, big in the NBL, has won some things in Asking or some things, but he's still someone that people sleep on, I think, but no one wants to mess with this dude's power. All right. And I saw this. All right. This was just really, really crazy. So he was one of the top 8 that I already picked. Angel ended up making a spot, getting a spot. And then, who was the other one I got there? I'm trying to, my bad. I'm trying to think who was the other person who got the wild card spot. Angel will probably remember. Team Heartland South is ran by Wesley Lawrence there, Drew. Okay. Wesley wanted to give, Obeda. I'm sorry. Obeda got the spot. Yeah. So Obeda is in there. Right. So Wayne's first fight was against Obeda. All right. Within the first 30 seconds of this thing, Obeda's bleeding. Obeda's having a great fight though. It was an awesome one, but dude, like Wayne just has that like, just that power and that explosion that people don't really see. And then, his next round, he's going against Brayon. First exchange, he kind of hits him in the eye, and it looks like he needs to adjust, takes a break for his eye.
He hits Brayon in his eye. Yeah.
The next one, he hits Brayon and drops him. So we're like, all right, what is going on here? Gives him a little while. Brayon, they decide, okay, we're going to continue to go, but let's work on the control. The thing is, though, it's super fights. They want to push the.
I don't get that. I didn't really understand.
It's a little hard.
So, wait, before you continue.
Yeah.
What is the fighting? So it's super fights.
So everything is 1 point. Everything is 1 point. If you knock the person to the ground, or if they touch the ground, it's 1 point to that competitor, to the other competitor.
They just go down.
Right. If they go out of the ring or even just step out of bounds, a point goes to the other side. So those are the main things. And then, of course, they want clean contact is what they want. Okay. So that's kind of where it was. So the biggest thing is just, hey, let's just be professional. Let's,
What about knockouts? What are knockouts considered? DQ?
Well, that was kind of where they were at. They didn't really want to push that.
They didn't want to talk about it.
Yeah. I was warming up for Grand, so I'm not really sure exactly on that part what it was. But the thing is, Brayon almost came back. Well, he did come back, and he almost won. Ended up being a great fight, and Wayne ended up winning, right? The next fight was Edgar Hermony versus Justice Floyd, all right? And this
Talk
thing...
about 2 legs.
Yeah, all right? This was insane. Okay, Angel said knockouts equals a win. Okay, but
that's cool.
So
If they're gonna want him to go and bang,
Right.
at least give
We
them the
just gotta
victory if
keep
they
that
do.
quiet. All right. So, anyways,
It's true. Yeah, you
this
don't want the
fight
boxing
was
commission in on that.
insane. Okay, remember you have to win by 2 points as well. That's the other thing, right? You gotta win by 2,
Word.
and everything's won. So Edgar and Justice are just going at it back and forth. And this fight, I think we looked at it, and it was almost 6 minutes. Okay, it was 5:48 or something like that, right? The video that we watched, and it was just intense, man. And I remember at one point they're like, "Go," and they're both just sitting there like,
They're
okay,
both just taking
gotcha.
breaks.
They're just supposed to take a break, like, dang, you good, man. We got this. All right, let's go. I mean, I mean, they were gassed
So
out, right?
at one point, they were just like, they basically treated it like this was a long training session.
yeah. But man,
That's
it
both
was intense.
interesting and bad at the same time.
So big. I mean, big
I'd
shout
be
to them. That was
frustrated if one of
definitely.
those guys was on my team, or if I was coaching one of those guys and that happened, I probably would have lost my mind.
Hold on. What are you guys talking about over here? Oh, all right.
They were
Gotcha.
just talking about
Oh,
who's the
Heartland.
manager
Yeah.
of Heartland.
Team
There's
Heartland.
Team Heartland. There's Team Heartland South.
Yes, it's two
Just know
separate
that, guys.
teams, right?
Two
Yep.
different teams. All right, let
Right.
Jeff continue. Keep going.
Yeah. But
because I'm into this.
Big shout out to Justice and Edgar for that great fight. Justice moved on. So again, in Florida, we got 2 guys from South Carolina who ended up winning, going to the end for the whole thing, right? Which is really cool. We have Team Heartland South, who, from Virginia and North Carolina, myself winning. I mean, people from outside of Florida are winning in Florida. That's a little bit hard to do. And that's a cool thing
however,
to see that.
You got Justice, who
he's on
Team
Velocity. That's true.
So,
he's on Velocity, so yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like you still got some Floridians in there.
Oh yeah. Well, and Rashad won, so and Pro won from New York, so it was really cool. For overall, after that, see, Edgar still had to fight for overall after that. Pro worked really hard this week, so had some great fights. As far as that overall, man, just a great weekend. Wayne ended up, and you could just tell from that, just Wayne's explosiveness just really kind of like stopped some people. You know what I mean? It just had them second guessing a little bit, or just thinking a little bit more. So was really good to see him back out there. I'm not really sure I know he's already finished college, I believe, but I think he's been working at a boxing gym. So you can see that explosiveness and everything. So really cool. We'll hope to see him back out there doing more tournaments, more point fighting tournaments. So, Justice fought John Cortolo to get there before Edgar also. Yep, that's right, Terry. So that was a great fight. And, overall, man, just a great show. Again, like I said, Murphy puts on an awesome finals. He puts on a great show. Had great judges. The judges for the super fights and most of the fighting. Singal, man, we would love to see you back, bro. Thanks for watching the show. This is cool.
Wow.
Yep.
Singal, you gotta get on.
Yeah, we gotta have him on the show. Yep.
You gotta get on the show, my friend.
That's right.
You are gonna be a guest soon. All right. Continue.
So the judges were Jeremy Roque was the center. Leo Valdivia was a corner, and Yoskar was a corner. So was a really good
so just group. 3 judges.
3 judges moving around, doing great. Yep. And because Obeda was fighting, and they did pull Obeda in to do forms a couple of times, but yeah. So Terry, you see this?
Saying it.
Yeah,
yes, exactly.
Yeah, he was. We had a fun conversation afterwards with Terry. Terry was going nuts.
I probably would have lost it just like you. That's another subject another time. All right.
But man, so overall, great event. Murphy really puts on a good show, and had people from, I know for me in my division, I fought someone from Venezuela. There were people from Puerto Rico, lots of all over from Florida. North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, Revolution. There's some people from Revolution there. This was, Angel's first tournament with Revolution. So
the uniforms look dope, by the way.
Yeah, they're cool. I liked our new uniforms too. They were pretty cool. I don't know if you saw that. They were pretty cool with the gray and everything.
They look like they're not comfortable though. Are they comfortable?
They are. They really are, man. Yep.
All right,
they are.
cool.
It's probably because mine looked really big on me because it was, but
it just looks like it's really hot.
Not really. No, not really. So
all right.
But yeah, so overall it was fun. All right, a couple fun things that we got to talk about. Don't all right, if you know or you find out that you're rooming next to Jeremy Roque or Obeda Ben Wally, all right, ask to get moved, okay? I'm just telling you, all right?
Why?
All right, so listen, all right.
I've roomed with Obeda before.
This hotel, let's just tell you this hotel, right? To me, it's cool because I'm a person that likes old things and antiques and stuff, right? But you go in there and it's like the theme is like the 50s and the 60s or maybe even the 40s, right? So the lobby doesn't have a flat or a big screen TV. It has a box TV from like the 50s and it's just playing I Love Lucy the whole time, right? And it has,
they have
a 50s or 40s style pool table. They got like a chandelier style fountain. They have all kinds of stuff that's just, you go to your room and you have a record player and you have like a vintage style.
Dope.
Yeah, it was just cool, right? I was the only one. Yeah, the honeymooner. Oh, there was that too. Yeah, honeymoon. Yeah, sorry. But you're right. But there was a lot of stuff that was just cool, right? I thought it was cool. My roommates did not. They were like, man, this hotel, man, I wouldn't, because it didn't have cable. So that is kind of crazy. The big hotel resort didn't have cable, but still, it was fun. Anyways, they have balconies, right? So the balconies are like pretty much attached. All right. So we're on the 8th. We're the highest floor. We're on the 8th floor.
Now, when you say attached, what do you mean? You mean like each room is attached to another?
Yeah. So literally what happened was I'm in my room.
You see what had happened was?
What had happened was Jeremy jumped over from his balcony over to mine.
Stop.
Banged on the window and jumped back. Okay. So there's no gap in between. It's just concrete. So you could literally, which was kind of funny. We'll just tell this because they weren't the only ones doing this. Right. But there were chairs on all the balconies. Right. Okay. But some balconies didn't have them. Like mine didn't have them because what had happened was people would take the chairs and literally like push them from all the way down the hall to here, there. Cause you could,
why isn't there any kind of separation?
That's what I'm asking. I don't know, but that's how it's set up.
Balcony
very
I've ever
unsafe
been
there,
on
right?
ever has that.
So
that's just an excuse to have one big party.
Right. So anyways,
kind of cool.
I hear this and I'm just thinking my first step thing is, oh crap, what's crashing down, right? What is crashing? All right.
Great point, Terry.
And again, I'm having that PTSD from when the truck ran through my karate school. And so I just stepped back like, whoa, what is that? Like, because it sounded like literally.
Please tell me you jumped into a fighting
or something. Position. Oh yeah, something crashed or something happened. And all right, let me step away so I don't get glass or nothing falls on me, right? So then I just know they're laughing out there, and I go out there and I'm like, you guys, what the, And then we just start hanging out, and then I jump over there, go over their room. They jump. It was just kind of crazy. But I have another story, but I'm not going to share that one on. And it's not about them. It's about the people that were staying the next to us.
Are they karate people?
I don't know. I didn't see it, but my roommates, when they got there, saw something. So, anyways.
Wait a minute.
All right, listen. It's Florida. Everybody knows in Florida. It's a little different.
Do you know who these people are that you're going to tell this story about?
No, I don't know anything about them.
Tell the story.
I don't even think they're karate people. All right, so when you get to Florida, especially Miami or stuff, there's a lot of, let's say new beaches and stuff, right?
No way.
So
is that where this is
Wesley, my friend Wesley, he gets in there and he goes out to see the balcony. Well, the first thing he does, he turns to the left and there's someone on the other balcony.
Okay.
Completely naked. Just chilling right there. And he's like, whoa, excuse me. Ain't no big deal. Just chilling right there.
That's just the thing. That's just
That's
like,
just the
hey,
thing, man.
this
That's
is
just
what
the
we do.
thing.
don't
So
know,
that's
man.
just the thing.
I don't know if I'm down with that.
Oh yeah. Bathroom urinals in the lobby. Yeah, that was pretty funny too.
Excuse me, what?
Just the urinals, the way they were in the lobby, they were just old style, man. Everything was just interesting.
When you say in the lobby, what do you mean?
I think he's talking about like the lobby.
There's a separate
yeah. No, not like where you could just go
like,
right there.
hey,
No.
Here's the bar.
There's no
the
urination in public. All right, there's none of that.
The way you said it, I was like, oh man.
But anyway, so Jeremy and them, man, they're just funny. Love hanging out with Jeremy and Obeda, two great guys. But as far as overall, just a fun weekend, and it kind of gets me going with just, all right, how do you compete in different areas? You know what I mean? And I'm going to tell you, competing not just in Florida, but in South Florida is completely different. As you can tell,
Yes.
they have the super fights, which is, hey, they want to fight and hit hard, you know, and you better be prepared.
And by the way,
really, that kind of carried over in the division as well. Like the lightweight division, right? Had 15 fighters. Amazing stuff going on there, right?
Right.
And I mean,
people should know.
Rashad Eugene is fighting there. He makes it to the semifinals. You know, he
is a all-around talented martial artist.
Yes, he is.
People just think of him as the weapons guy.
Right.
Yes, that is his thing.
Right.
That is the thing that he hangs his hat on. He is actually a very fantastic fighter.
Yes.
Right. So people should know, like when you talk about like fighting in Florida or in South Florida, it's completely different. Listen, guys, fighting at the U.S. Open does not count. Right. That's everyone. Right. You're not just fighting against Floridians. And even if you are at the U.S. Open, it's different. That's its own separate category. This is the Open, right?
Right.
When you go to like a different one, even if it's like Pan Am's, right? That's a Florida tournament, right?
Right.
So it's whatever.
Yeah, he said that they were shaped like a mouth. I must not have seen that.
What is shaped like a mouth?
The urinals. Yeah.
That's different.
All right. That's different. This is funny. All right, but yeah, so it's completely different in competing down there. The other thing is not just in fighting, in forms too. I know for me, I got to bring my intensity way harder. The other thing, what was cool was that, you know, myself and Jaden both doing Korean forms. One, you know, the divisions were traditional. One against in that area, it's a big Goju area, right? Or you know, you see a lot of the seipais and you see a lot of the real low stances and different things. So what's cool that respect was there, you know, and seeing a lot of great, just good judging, I thought overall. Okay. Because at first I wasn't sure what to expect. I'm like, they may not like me. They're going to laugh at me. I'm a little too wild and crazy.
Well, let's lean into what you were talking about a little more with the fighting and competing in different areas.
Yes.
So, like, what are some other areas, Jeff, where it's like, listen, this area is great. However, when you compete in this area, you have to know about this, right?
Right. So
like, I will give this one as an example.
Yep.
Right. I love the way Michigan is run. I think their tournaments, and well, hey, anybody who is a fan of the Martial Arts Center Network, watch the Arctic Challenge, right? Because I mean, we were on there, we were talking about it. I by the way, I loved that experience of doing that with everyone, with you and Chris and Angel. I mean, I thought that was fantastic. I loved doing that. I can't wait
so we're looking forward to our next tournaments, guys. So get on
by
board
the way,
and let us sponsor us, and we will be doing it, man.
Yeah, the Gorham said that they almost doubled, or they did double the amount of registration that they thought they were going to get, and they accredited that to what we were doing as far as promotion and
Right.
what we were doing as far as working it. But anyway, continuing on, I know that fighting in Michigan, it is different. Like, your defensive sidekick can score. It cannot be a defensive sidekick that you would score in Florida or you would score like in Massachusetts. No. It has to be 100% fully extended.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Because if there's someone moving forward, even if you stop them and it's bent, it's over.
Yeah.
Right? It is just, but you will bang your head against the wall, being like, dude, I'm hitting them. What the heck is going on?
Right.
You have to understand the area. All right. And we understand that about like this is old school, but it still happens from time to time. You go to Texas decades ago, you pick your leg up pumping like Justice Floyd, you might get racked in the nuts.
Yep. There, right? California. Yep.
You got to know. Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Right. So you got to know. Right.
Well, and some people will still do it just to check you.
And Justice, that wasn't a slam, by the way. That was a compliment.
No. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But what I'm saying, some people, even though it's not legal, they'll do it. Just be like, I'll take my,
how many times have you heard that, Jeff? I'll take the warning.
Yep. I'll take the warning. I'll take the penalty point. That's fine.
Right.
We'll
get into that a little bit later, because I got something else I want to talk about.
I say with California or South Florida, like, is the late hits,
that's a great. There are areas where they just, like, if they say stop, they just poof.
Yep.
They freeze. Some people just some areas, they'll stop before the judge. They'll stop before the judges.
I tell you, like in the South, like Southern Virginia area, it's like the opposite. It's almost super controlled. Like, even if both of us will both have our chambers up, if yours goes up above mine and my leg is under yours, they'll call that a low kick. Like, I've been at several that is just every type of penalty at all that could possibly happen, they're calling. So then I go to some where there's no penalties.
In an example, if you and I are fighting,
and you're taller than me,
and just because I'm taller, and I chamber higher, and you hit
and you kind of come
my leg,
my
they're gonna call a low kick on you.
Yes, and that's happened to me so many times. I've gotten in some arguments because of that. But
that's not fair.
No, it's not fair at all. But so that's kind of what kind of happens. So it's real interesting to where you fight. You have to really pay attention, even with forms too. Like, for me, I know.
What's it like with forms? I don't really know. I can't really think about it.
I know I need to amp up my craziness or my entertainment factor in certain areas, right?
Your animation.
Right, my animation.
I don't have to amp that up.
Yeah,
I
say in like I'm trying to think. Well, in Mexico, definitely I need to amp it up, right? Because they're gonna get pumped up and be excited. They love if you can put some, Latin music, wherever you dance a little bit, you do a little bit, they get pumped up. They love that, right? They love that, in that area. Just a great example is Edgar, Edgar Cordova, when he does his form and he does his little dance with his commas, man, people go nuts for that, right?
He's a performer. I like
right. Then you have some areas that, I would say even like a Georgia where they love the flips and stuff, You'll have some areas like I think really in Texas, they like the kicks, the standing kicks and stuff. Even in DC area, they do, because Taekwondo, you know what I mean? The Junri style of stuff.
DC is Taekwondo.
Yeah. So DC and Texas, man, so
look
really,
look at what you just said. DC, Texas. Those are the most Taekwondo areas that you can get.
But what's funny is that, again, when we talk with fighting, though, it's not like, because if you kick in Texas, you're getting kicked in the nuts. It's really weird, right?
Isn't that some crazy irony right there? Right? So Junri has, when I said one guy, I meant Junri, right? So Junri, like, he is Taekwondo, right?
Yeah.
He's the reason why these kicks happen the way they do. It's because of Junri, right? So when he is Texas and he makes it that way, everybody loves kicks because of Junri. And then goes over to DC, and now DC is just the same way. However, back in Texas, you have to deal with just crazy Texans. I mean, they're crazy, right?
Yep.
They love getting smashed in the face. They just love this stuff.
Yes, they love it.
Remember when we had John Worley on and he was just talking about it? Dude, I'm telling you, that is a gem of a human, right?
Yeah.
To just sit down. I remember just having just like conversations with John Worley, and he would just talk about how fun it was to just hang out with his friends. He said that they would break into the school, in the high school. And I'm like, wait, excuse me, what? Most kids are trying to break out. What are you talking about? And he was like, oh yeah, we just in Texas, you just do sports. Like that's all you do. You just do sports, right? You break into the school. I'm like, well, how did you break into the school? Like, oh, you just break through the window.
Oh man.
So you could go play basketball. And I'm like, timeout. What? You're breaking windows and climbing through so you can play basketball?
Yo,
what?
Crazy.
That's how they. And when you say like they're just crazy, like they're crazy, right? But see, I may not know all the areas, so like I don't know. I know there's some areas are softer. Like you kind of mentioned, like what it was like in Virginia. I know, like in some areas of Wisconsin, right? Like if your body kick that you're throwing gets close to your guard, ooh, that might be
a point.
Points.
Yep.
No. Two.
Yeah, true. 2 points.
2.
You're right.
So
you're right.
You're better off just like turning and running.
Right.
Because they don't block nothing. Right.
I shared this in on Jackson's show was when I competed in Europe. And this was in 2001 when I was known for intergalactic. I could not, like the team told me, you cannot compete with this form in Europe. They will not give it to you. Okay. It's too comedy. It's too out of it. So I did my Moni, which was very choreographed, but a different type of choreograph. Right. And won with it hands down.
I actually think I like Moni better.
I don't think so. It's too much of waiting for the beats, but I do like it as well. It was a good form as well.
I loved Intergalactic better because I loved that song.
Yeah.
And that's like, I was in high school when that song was out, right? So I'm like, that's me. But Moni, but when you did the form to Moni.
And see, that wasn't even on purpose, all right? So the reason why I did it at Diamonds that year.
It wasn't on purpose.
Well, it wasn't because my CD or whatever I was using for Intergalactic wasn't working, and it wasn't working. So I had Moni on as a backup, so I just put it in there and I had to do it. And that's kind of why I did it with the hands.
Wait, what year was this?
2001.
Did I ever tell you this story about 2001? You
go ahead.
I never told you this?
No.
Yo, check it.
Well, you probably have, but I don't know. Do you have a lot of stories? Go.
All right. Well, all right. So I'm watching you do your form. We don't know each other yet. Okay.
Right.
But you're Jeff freaking Doss. All right. And this is Team CJB. And it's, dude, that's what it is. Right. It's a people's champ. We're going to get into that later. All right. So I'm there. And who's right to my left is Double D, David Douglas.
Oh, David Douglas. Yeah.
Your mom hands David Douglas the camera. It's like, yo, David, will you videotape? Now, David is as cool as David is, right?
It might have been 2000 then.
Okay, then maybe it was.
Yeah, well, that's fine. Go ahead.
I'm going to continue the story.
Yeah, go ahead.
So we were in the basement ballroom, right?
Yes.
Of the ballroom at the Diamonds in St. Paul.
I remember.
All right. So David, just being cool, knew that he's like, yo, there's like the cool level. There's like Prince, Lenny Kravitz, David Douglas, right? It's kind of how it was, right? If I'm lying, I'm dying, right? So David goes, oh no, my guy right here, my best friend. He said he's great on the camera. He's talking to me. Never had a conversation with this man before, right? So he's handing me the camera. Oh, so it must be 2000 then, right? Yeah. So I'm like, okay, I'm taking videos now, right? Because David Douglas told me to, right? I've never had a gun, and I'm like, you're David freaking Douglas. I'm like, all right, here we go, right? So if you have the video, I'm the reason you have.
You're the one that. All right.
I'm the reason you have the video.
That's funny. So yeah, that was where this started. That was the first time I ever did that, and that was on the fly. Yeah. Yeah. So that was. Yeah. That's cool.
And you told the story about how you did that on the fly before. Yeah.
Right. But
So
yeah,
that was
but
cool.
yeah,
All right,
that's
continue.
freaking cool, man. But yeah, so like competing in Europe, they wanted the choreography, hitting all the beats. That's a huge thing in forms over there. I remember,
True. All right, I'll give it
John
to him.
Fournette, having Mike Chat come over to the Buddha Gala and do demos and said, and Mike Chat was known for being pretty choreographed at the time, right?
Yeah, because
and
he had the Street Fighter song.
right. And John
to what
Fournette
he
would be
do.
like, "That's not choreographed enough. They're not going to like it."
What?
And so he had to add a
What?
little bit more. Yeah, yeah. So really, I mean, it's big. It's yeah. Oh, yeah, exactly. He says the screaming traditional stuff doesn't fly in Europe as well. Yep.
As
I mean,
good
and there's
as it
certain
should.
areas, that's like that. Like for me, I actually growing up, I felt like Florida was where you had to yell extra,
Yes.
big time, and you had to do the extra
Yes.
screams and things. And so there's certain areas like that. So really interesting about competing in different areas.
I don't think Taekwondo does real well in Florida either.
No, but we did well this weekend, man. We were kicking butt.
Well,
So it
there
was
you
really
go.
cool. All right. Do we want to do our competitors of the week? I kind of already talked to mine. I
Of
should have
course
done it
we
a while
do.
ago. I'm going to
Let's
go
do our
ahead and start
competitors of the week, and then I got at least
Couple
one
things.
topic.
All right.
So you want to go first?
I'll go first. All
Of
right.
course you
So
go first.
Wayne Easterling, man, I already talked about him, how awesome he was this weekend. Congratulations on your wins. This guy, he's been a loyal just member of Team Unity. When many people have wanted to pick him up and have him compete and do this, that, he's been loyal, been like, this is what I'm repping. I've always have. The only other time that I think that he was doing something different was really with Cass's team. And he just said, Cass coached him a lot and he would train with them and he would team fight with Cass's junior team, but then still during the rest of the time represent Unity, So this dude's awesome competitor, an awesome guy, and he's actually all around martial arts as well too. Like I said, working a boxing gym, but also he's really good at forms, traditional forms, open forms. He's a great competitor. So Wayne has been around for a long time. I've known him since he was probably 8, 9, maybe. And a great martial artist. And again, just one of the low key hardest strikers there is, man. So really cool.
Well, that's pretty dope. Yeah, I've seen Wayne fight a few times, and you can tell Wayne when he hits the gym, he's definitely the meathead version of the gym, right? Because when everybody rolls up their sleeves, Wayne just has a way of it just keeps getting a little higher and higher and higher. And you can see the pipes a little bit more, and you're like, all right, Wayne. All right.
Yeah, man.
I see pipes. All right, let's see what you got. All right. Yeah. So Wayne's pretty cool. I've seen some other guys do that before, but Wayne rocks it. And the forearms on that guy. And here's why that's specific, right? Like nobody, who trains forearms when they work out? Nobody. Right. Not that it's absolutely necessary. However, for what we do, when you're blocking, that's a big freaking deal. Because if this isn't developed, what happens, right, is everything shifts back. You see what happens here. So if this can't absorb the blow and it shifts back,
the shoulder,
there's a lot of damage on that shoulder. I had shoulder surgery specifically because of that, because of this over 30 years of this. And I kid you not, when I would hold when I was a new dad, right? Yeah. Now I got 3 of them, right? There's a lot of ways to hold the car seat carrier, right? So you want to you hold it with 2 hands, you hold it under your arm, you just kind of cradle it. And I'm like, no, it's F that. It's got a handle. I'm gonna hold the handle. I'm gonna hold it way out here like this, right? Because you can't hold it straight down. Because the whole thing will smash against your leg, and there's a sleeping baby in there. So I'd hold it out here like this, ain't nothing gonna bother me. Yeah, except now I need shoulder surgery, et cetera, et cetera. No, I'm not even making that up.
Oh,
But I
man.
actually think it's more because of this. So Wayne, as developed as he is there, doesn't have to worry about something like that.
Right.
Hopefully he doesn't.
Pretty
but
cool.
Anyway.
All right.
Yeah.
You ready for yours?
I'm ready for mine. My competitor of the week is one of the greatest kickers, if not the greatest kicker, happening right now, today. Zack Winder. I'm going to tell you this. Zack Winder is just different, right? He's just built different. He just kicks different. His kicks are definitely a throwback. His kicks are like if you just landed yourself in 1993, right?
Right.
And you're like, oh, you must train with like, hey, are you at Boston Taekwondo? Right? Yeah, you must train with Reggie Perry. You train with Reggie Perry? Oh, no, you train with Donald Brady. No. Ah, I see. You train with Pedro. That's what it is. Because it's wild, right? So this guy is like that. And I'm telling you, I like this guy a lot. And it's not just because of his he's a very likable guy. He is always knocking right on the door of being able to get to the overall and win it, right? But it just this dude has had some just super unfortunate breaks.
Right.
One of them literally, right?
Yeah.
But what you gonna do? However, he's a physical specimen.
Yep.
So
and he's been a big part of helping others in the sport get better. Yep.
You said it. You said it right there.
Especially
right?
the past 2 years. So 3 years.
He's a physical specimen, right? And he's built himself that way, right? And I kind of saw that coming to a certain degree as to what he was doing. And I'm like, ooh, this could be something, right? And I remember thinking all right, I see you deadlifting a decent amount of weight here. I wonder what that leg's still going to be like. Yo.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you this. I fought with this dude last week.
Okay.
Right? The range is totally different. Now I have size on him, right? By a fair amount, right? And wherever I was standing was not far enough back. It didn't matter. And I'm like, it's not registering with me because I fight against guys, up to 6 inches, 7, 8 inches taller than you. Yet your range is so much further, right? That's what I'm saying. Like when I'm standing in front of them, it's not enough. And I'm like, it's just messing with me. And I'm like, all right. This guy, it's like that. And there's not a kick this guy can't do. I'll tell you this, Zach, I don't care if you listen to someone, tag him. All right.
Yep.
The only thing I'm focused on when I'm fighting Zack Winder is you don't kick me in the face. And you don't spin kick me because he spun kick me one time in training when I'm like, here it comes. I got it. No, I did not. Right. So yeah, it's great. There's few people that have spun kicked me that have made me go like, all right, I never want that again. All right. Raymond.
Yep.
Jason Borelli.
Yep.
Zack Winder. That might be it.
All right.
I think that's it. All right. There might be another guy. No, I don't get spin kicked like that.
Right.
That's it. And Jason Borelli did a spin axe kick on me, but that's a whole nother freaking story. Right.
Oh man.
Man. But I got a story speaking of stories, I got a story to get into right now.
Okay, right? Let's do it.
You were talking about Jeremy. Jeremy has been on a topic lately, currently, maybe even in this exact moment, talking about injury timeouts.
Yes.
Yo, do you remember this was on my topics? Remember when I sent you that list of 586 topics to talk about? This was one of them. Listen, calling a medic is an unofficial 3-minute timeout.
Yeah.
And I don't
especially if you can't even find the medic first, right? Sometimes it'll take 3 to 5 minutes just to get the medic there.
Right. So if you're buttoned up, listen, I was a center referee for this is at the AK Warrior,
AKs,
right? For the women and for the lightweight and heavyweight men.
Mm-hmm.
So they had 3 medics. And so one of them was a woman, and she was coming over, and I said, listen, just stay right there. She goes, no, it's okay. I'm going to be at the stage. And I'm like, listen, I'm telling you, this is a heavyweight man. And I'm like, listen, just stay right there. She goes, yeah, I think they're going to be fine. I think, the way I've been watching them fight, I'm like, I'm telling you, they're going to call you again. Just sit right there. We're on a stage. You're right here. Just stay there. Sure enough, it's an unofficial treatment, because what am I supposed to do? I can't say no, right? What I started to do, only because I was the center ref, and in the moment they would call for a timeout, and I would go, do you need a medic? Right? And I made them verbalize it. And if they said yes, I'm like, nothing I could freaking do. Right? I can't say no, right? Because I'm not your body. I can't feel what you feel, right? I'm certainly not going to take your physical, well-being in my hands. That's your responsibility. All right. So if they say I need a medic, I'm going to go, all right, medic, come here. All right. But I know what's going to happen. I know the moment the medic gets there, they're going to go, oh, no, I'm good now. I'm good now.
Right.
Whatever. All right, fine. He's good.
That's an interesting point. Terry Floyd says should be penalized 2 or 3 points, but I mean,
absolutely not. Do you know how hard points are to get? How hard?
What if you really need it? Yeah.
1 point?
Right.
Right? Now, let's say someone gets their bell rung, not concussed. Let's say someone's like, wow, right? And they're like, ho, hang on. We absolutely need a medic for that.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Somebody rolls their ankle. They actually do not know if they can continue to walk or not. I've had times where I've rolled my ankle. You just keep going. I've had times where I've rolled my ankle. I'm not good for a week.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
What are you supposed to do about that?
Yeah.
Right. I do have what I feel like is a solution.
Okay.
And it's the culture. The culture is that we can call a medic. No big deal. I'm going to call a medic. I get an unofficial timeout. The only way out of this is to shame the person calling a medic.
Shame.
No, but you have to do it a certain way, right? You can't verbally be like, you can call the medic.
Yeah.
Maybe you can. I don't know, right? And you can make them be like, dude, you're not a man, all right? You are less of a man for calling a medic. How do you call yourself a man?
Oh my God.
You call a medic? What's wrong with you? I don't know. Maybe you do that. Or maybe they call a medic, you just beat the shit out of them, all right? But listen.
All right.
Maybe this is I don't see another way out of it, all right? You can't just be like, all right, here's 2 points because you called a medic and then you had to keep continuing. You can't do that. There's no way, right? Because then you're just like, all right, well, then I'm just freaking done, all right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you save face and you save yourself the loss that you're guaranteed anyway, right? Because now you just lost 2 points, or they gave the other guy 2 points. There's no freaking way out of this, right? Just because I fell, what are you gonna do, right? So you can't. I don't think there's any way you can do the points thing. How hard points are to get, right? And now they want to start giving less points because 2 points are 2 points to the body is a body kick, right? Now they want to give 1 for certain areas. Now you're going to give 2 points for not striking anything, for not doing anything. Nothing happened in the match. You're just going to give someone 1 or 2 points. Doesn't make any sense. Right. So,
all right. So what about when people that really need a medic? And so say if Terry's saying penalize 2 or 3 points for it or shaming them for it. But what if there's an issue? So now they're not going to call it themselves. So it's up to a center who just wants to get it going, who doesn't want to stop the action, and then they're also not licensed to protect that person either, unless they're certified, which we know we don't have certified judges that are looking for that, So I don't know, man. It's interesting. I think it's really a tough call.
Well, like Sam right now has a good point. Yeah. Sam's like, for a legal shot, no medic. So like if I sidekick someone in the ribs and I drop them, right? And boom, I take their soul with that sidekick, right? Yeah. right? And they just need, 2 minutes to gather themselves because I just rocked them. All right, what are you going to do? Right.
Well, you have to decide then, are you going to continue or not? I mean, it needs to be 1 minute or something like that,
I've personally had it before where I'll say it right now. The hardest I've ever been sidekicked in my life, Cass Sigmund sidekicked me.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I legit thought my ribs were broken, right? I thought I was freaking done, right? And it was tied. We went into it was a super fight, so that was freaking stupid because you had to win by 2, right? I legit thought my ribs were broken, right? Medic comes over, works on me, and he's like, "No, your ribs are not broken. I know what happened. You got hit so hard, the cartilage in between your ribs moved." And I'm like,
okay.
"Excuse me, he did what?
Wow.
With his heel?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Dude, am I done?" And he goes, "I mean, it's going to hurt like a son of a bitch, but it's up to you." And I'm like, "Oh, well, then I'm going."
Yeah.
You can't rob someone of that scenario. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many things, like even what Brett's talking about, like you got kicked in the groin 3 times, you know what I mean? And the center just wanted to keep going. He doesn't know, you know what I mean? Like there's stuff like that. It's like, all right, hold on, dude. Like this is messed up,
Right.
But again, yeah, legal shot. But again, if it's a legal shot and there's a knockout, that's a whole another thing too, this is something that we gotta really speak about more and look into more, But yeah, I mean, I think definitely something to keep talking about. And Jeremy even talked about, hey, will forms people get a medic timeout in the middle of their form?
Dude,
now, my only thing is on
I
that
love that guy.
is a weapons break. I think a weapons break. I don't like that's an automatic DQ. I don't think. I think.
Let's all right. We could transition to that. I know we're heading over time. Let's transition to that.
Let's finish. Yeah, I think
Speaking
that
of,
should be
we're gonna
what
go weapons.
you have a certain amount of time.
Weapons competitor this last decade?
Say again. Go ahead.
Who's the best weapons competitor we've seen in the last decade?
The most successful and best one has been Jackson Rudolph. Yeah.
Jackson Rudolph. He posted a video today of him breaking his bow while still holding on to the other half of it. He's holding on to it, continues his form, dope, by the way, right? And continues to what seamlessly, flawlessly for what he could do with that, right? He even did a lunging, stab, like he was from Sparta, right? And then ended the form. I saw no flaw in that.
Right.
Yet he's DQ'd.
Yeah.
Don't understand why. He didn't drop his weapon.
No.
He did not lose control of his weapon. His weapon changed form.
Mm-hmm.
It was no longer a long bow staff. It came into basically
double bow.
Stick.
Screamer sticks. Yeah. I mean, I don't like that. I think I think you should have 2 options. You continue and keep going, or you have. I mean, if you're going to give a medical timeout for 5 minutes, then do 1 or 2 minutes. You have 2 minutes to get a replacement weapon. Most of those guys have a backup weapon.
I don't think you can do that because then that's basically a do-over form.
So what? It's a.
Did you know the box?
That was the rule. So
the box, the Pandora's box you're about to open up if you do that. Everybody will do that if they feel like, man, I didn't have a good start. They're
not going to break their weapon. Now, if you literally break your weapon yourself, okay, that's different. All right. But I don't know. We never had that issue in the NBO, and that was the rule. Now we had the issue when it became the drop rule, but that was different. But the break rule was something that had been around for years, and that wasn't something that happened that often. That was not an issue for that. And if your weapon broke, especially like if your chuck breaks or something like that, now there's an argument that if you break your bow, that you struck it improperly. There is that argument, okay? But you were striking with it improperly. There is that argument. Or you're just, striking really strong.
Yeah, but, I don't know who can say you were doing a strike improperly.
Yeah, because of the balance of where it's supposed to be at.
You're not the one performing it.
Well, that too, but
how can somebody else determine that?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
You can make a judgment call based off of how the form and the performance look. Yeah. That's what your job is. I don't think someone can say, you did that improper. All right. I don't think you could do that.
No, you can't. But I think that's why that rule is in place.
All right. So
And,
what
and
do you
then
think we should do?
But anyways, go ahead.
The break. Should the break be considered a DQ, or how do you think?
I
the
don't
break
think
should
so.
be
I
handled?
think you can keep going. But I'm okay with a replacement. But I think it shouldn't be a DQ. If you don't involve a replacement, that's fine. But it breaks. You continue. You finish the form. You judge them based on what they did.
I'm going to go up, the other extreme. I'm going to say the break should be a restart.
I just said that, and you said you shouldn't do that. You said that's open to Pandora's box.
Did I say that?
Yes, you just did. You don't listen to yourself, do you?
Because
you were trying to compare it to what with the drop.
Right, I was comparing it to the old restart rule.
No, but again, I think that's kind of what I just said. That I feel like
make a mistake
you
there.
should be able to have, but you have
You're right.
1
I was
minute or 2
thinking
minutes
of the
to get it.
restart. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
But
no, it's not the same though. It's not, because it's completely different. It's like, listen, if I'm doing my form and a kid runs in the middle of the ring, I should be able to restart, right?
Absolutely.
I almost killed you know what I mean? It's kind of the same type thing, right? Or if something in the ring is, like halting me from, I don't know what, but maybe a fight comes in and knocks me over while I'm doing my form.
That stuff happens.
That happens.
That stuff has happened.
Yeah. So
that's what makes local gym tournaments so fun.
Right.
Oh man. What's gonna happen?
All right. So we got to get going, guys. We've had a lot of fun. Anything you want to end on, Alex?
We got stuff in the works, guys.
Yep.
Stay tuned for Inside Scoop. I mean, we've got a lot of stuff, we're working on. We got guests that we have lined up. All right. Yep. We've got whole themes we have lined up. Just stay tuned. Inside Scoop is onto something big here.
Yep. And check out Martial Arts Center Network. All of our shows have been awesome. I'm still listening to Willie and Regina's show. Theirs is hilarious. One thing I do need, I was not at North Georgia Open, okay, guys, so I didn't win the Forms Weapons Grand there. They had said that I won at Starcade, but Rashad won the week before. He was there. I was not there for that. And there was just some other things that they had said, but it's just funny. They're just hilarious, man.
What's next on the docket for you for competition?
I have a local tournament in North Carolina the next week, and then making the decision about maybe Ocean State or and then we have a tournament as well. So
Ocean State, when is that? That's not till April.
That's in April. Yeah. So I have some other stuff. We have a seminar down in the Angel and Serafina we'll be doing down in North Carolina at Daryl Carter School. So that we'll be supporting, just some things like that. So lots of stuff going on. I got big belt test this weekend. Lots of stuff, man. So it's been cool. And like today, I'm gonna tell everyone, today I taught 10 private lessons today. All right. I'm burnt out. I'm gonna say tired. But it was fun. I enjoyed it. So people from all over, that's virtual, that's in person. It's been wild, man. So
dude, you're the people's champ.
Thank you.
You're just two boulders on side of your shoulders and a raised eyebrow and a shaved head away from being The Rock.
Okay, on that note.
And maybe 1.5 foot height.
Yeah. Oh man, thanks for watching, guys. We really appreciate it.
All right. Hey, you know what? You just said seminars and things like that. Low-key, what's the best seminar you've ever seen or been a part of?
I was just telling them today, sparring one today for me is still Jack Felton's, because of the way that he teaches and some of the moves he teaches. Like you go to some seminars and some things are like, okay, this is the basic, it's the same, it's always, and there's things that he does that are completely different than anyone else. Like teaching angles, the way he teaches angles are different than anyone else does them. There's a lot of things like even everybody teaches, the body punch. He does different. He does the front hand, like the dive bomb blitz that a lot of people don't do much anymore. There's a lot of things like that that he does.
The best at that.
Yeah, and it's just a fun seminar. It's a good one, and he makes sure to spar everybody in
That's
there as
so
well.
cool.
So
So
it's cool. For
Such a
that,
class act.
I'm not sure as far as forms and weapons. There's so many cool ones I've seen over the years. I've
I
assisted
haven't done
John
a lot of
Valera.
forms and weapons seminars.
I've
I haven't done
assisted
a lot.
John Valera several times, and those are always great. You know, so I don't know, man. There's a lot of cool ones. But yeah, man. So I think Jack to me has been one of my favorites
I've
overall.
sat in on
So,
Ross Levine's, like I've kind of peeked from the window. I've peeked in on Ross Levine's bow seminar before.
yeah.
I was a part of like Mike Chat's form seminar, and that was like a cookie cutter seminar. Right? So I
Right.
was like, all right.
Yeah.
So I'm not really that great at form seminars. However, I will say Ray's seminar, Raymond
Mhm.
Daniels, the way he does it, it's inspiring.
Right.
Like that's more of what he is. Jotty tension, it is.
Yeah. That's a fun one.
You have to
Intense.
leave with like a Harvard degree, right? In
Yeah.
sport karate,
Right.
right?
Right.
Like as far as information, like he will overload you. I will appreciate the way Jotty does that. Like he had me feeling like I don't know martial arts.
Right.
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 No, let me go back. I literally had to ask him. We were doing a very specific move, and I'm like, all right, it's gonna sound funny. Can you stand right next to me and then walk me through exactly what you just said? And I was the highest ranking person in the room.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but please just help me with this, right? Because everybody here, I'm gonna do the same thing you're saying, right? So Jotty is great at that.
Yeah.
However, I think the best fighting seminar I've ever seen is Gregorio De Leo.
Right.
Gregorio De Leo, even with that funny Italian accent, that man is good.
Yeah.
Right? He's very good. There was a time when Gregorio De Leo was competing for the best fighter in the world for that year,
Mhm.
right? And he was that good. I don't know why. He just assumed like,
Yeah.
oh, once you're 30, you're just done. Right?
I
What?
guess.
What?
Yeah. I have
Ray Reynolds
another
is gonna be
one.
42.
So his was a good one. I know for me, it's one, you know, like I think one of the best ones I've been in, and it was not just for like adults or kids or low, like it was for everyone. And I felt like everyone got something, or something wasn't over too many people's heads.
It was Alex Dingman.
Yeah. I
Alex
haven't been to
Dingman,
one of
that's what it
yours,
was.
but I would say Gerald Dawson had one of the
Ooh.
best ones, man. And I took a lot of my students to it. He had one in Roanoke, and I really felt like it was a great one for everyone. I got some out of it personally for me. My students everyone got a little bit of personal into it. It was really cool. And I think Cam is, going to take that, as well, and that same, personality and focus, and passion that
Absolutely.
Gerald did. So really cool. So, all right, guys.
Yo, we gotta get out of here. Otherwise, the
Yes.
director's gonna be pissed at us. We were doing great the last few weeks. Look at us this week. We just freaking blew right over the time. All right, guys. This has been another episode of Inside Scoop with Alex and Jeff. I am Alex Dingman.
I'm Jeff Doss. See you guys next week. VFT, guys. Make sure you get your tickets.